Right guys, here we have Scrooge's reaction to the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Now let's just think before we even go there what Scrooge's reaction was to Marley's ghost, which was to kind of mock him and call him an undigested piece of beef, and how he tried to extinguish the flame of the ghost of Christmas past before he even got a word out pretty much. So what's his reaction here? Well, let's have a look. Scrooge feared the silent shape so much that his legs trembled beneath him, and he found that he could hardly stand when he prepared to follow it. So he's scared of him. I'm not that surprised. I mean, the ghost of Christmas yet to come is a kind of freaky figure, isn't he? Let's be honest. But why is he so scared of him? Well, let's zoom in some of the language here. So we've got silent shape. Why is this ghost silent? It doesn't say anything. It just points. And I believe this ghost is silent because it's showing us that Scrooge must now make his own choices. He's been shown what is the right path to take by previous ghosts, your three previous ghosts, Marley, past and present. And now this ghost isn't going to show him what he needs to do in the future. Scrooge has got to take that path himself. So this ghost is going to remain silent and allow Scrooge to make his own choices. And the sibilance of this phrase, the repeated "suh" sound, draws our attention to it. And perhaps, I think, maybe slightly thinking too much like this as an English teacher, but maybe that "suh" sound repeated, the sibilance there, is creating the sort of swishing sound of the phantom's robes moving. This phantom is silent, so the only thing we would hear is the robes moving. I like to think that, but you can decide whether I'm just looking too much into that. So silent because Scrooge needs to make his own choices. And Scrooge's legs trembled beneath him. So here we have this visual image of Scrooge's fear of facing death and judgment. Don't forget the ghost of Christmas yet to come personifies death. He is the Grim Reaper. There's another video on that which you should look out if you've not watched it. But Scrooge fears death. Why does he fear death? Because in death there will be judgment. Just as Marley was judged and given the punishment to wander earth in eternity in torment, Scrooge will face judgment, and he fears that right now. And the reason he fears it is because he knows he has sinned. He knows his actions have hurt others. So he fears death, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come is obviously death personified, as well as being quite a scary man as well. And he found that he could hardly stand when he prepared to follow it. Now, could hardly stand, if you want to have a bit of language there to support the fact that he's scared and is trembled. The verb trembled. That'd be good for it. But prepared to follow it, I think, is more interesting. Here, there is no reluctance anymore. Scrooge doesn't sort of hesitate in following this ghost. Scrooge is willing to follow the ghost's advice. Unlike the other ghosts where he does everything he can pretty much to avoid it, here, he prepared to follow it straight away. Some other quotations there about Scrooge's reaction, being scared, but also, obviously, about the physical appearance of the ghost of Christmas yet to come.